Well, hello and good evening. It's Tuesday night and we are here for another Football Manager stream. I'm Adwin84 and welcome. So, how is everyone doing? Evening, Ashwin. Hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, how is everyone doing tonight? We're hoping that tonight we can see a bit of continuation of the form we had towards the end of last stream. So, we had a terrible start to the season as Hertha manager. We were 15th and hovering just above the relegation zone. But in the last stream, we turned it around. We started to win some games. We started to move up the table. But before the last game of last night, the last stream on Thursday night, we got that dreaded message saying that the next game is incredibly important to your future. Thankfully, we managed to win that comfortably and we've moved up to 9th in the table. But we still need to continue doing well. Otherwise, I suspect we may be looking for another job sooner rather than later. In fact, let's jump in and have a look at how we're going on in the table here. These players in the league are terrible. I mean, I wish I knew what they were doing wrong. I might have to see if I can find some time to sit and play that game and see if I can figure it out. Because I've sat and watched a couple of your streams for a while, and while I roughly have an idea, I honestly don't. So I need to get in and play it and work it out for myself. You need to know knowledge, see what is wrong. Oh, I don't think that's true because I've watched you and I'm like, well, I've no idea why you're doing the things you're doing. Why you aren't, I don't know, going and I don't even know what you're meant to do. I don't know what the ultimate aim is. But anyway, we'll talk about Hertha for a minute before we carry on with that conversation. So yeah, we're up to 9th. We have improved fairly significantly on where we were right down here. And in fact, as you can see, we have won a few games. So we beat Hanover in the league, we beat Stuttgart, draw against Union Berlin, but we beat Bayer Leverkusen, Arminia Bielefeld, and Freiburg, but we did lose 1 to Wolfsburg. But either way, we are moving our way up the table, and we're now in touch with the European places. Our board expects us to be in the Europa League positions, which is 5th, can be 6th, depending on who wins the cup. So we're definitely in touch with reaching our objectives. The board, they've gone from an E to a C rating, so we are definitely getting back on their good side. But the truth is, the supporters hate us. The fans absolutely despise us. They expect us to reach the Champions League, which we are still some way off. We're not yet halfway through the season, so there's still plenty of time for us to turn it around and get us back into it. But yeah, we need to continue the winning. In the Conference League, we're doing fine. We're on course for qualification and hopefully even for top 8, so we get to skip around. And let's hope that in the next few games, where we have Apollon Limassol and Cadiz, we should get through with relative ease, and even in league, Nuremberg, Augsburg, and then home to Bayern Munich. So we've got a couple of big games coming up for us tonight. And I think we left this just after the Freiburg game. Yeah, we did pretty much jump off immediately. So yeah, League of Legends, Ashwin, honestly, it remains a mystery to me. And we have got the January transfer window coming up, and I think we've got a bit of money to spend. I think that money may be best spent on a striker, because goals have been our problem. Although I think I'm probably being unfair to Mohamed Ali Cho. Yeah, we've got 19 million or so to spend. Cho, he's got 18 goals from 23 games. I really shouldn't be that harsh. It's the wings, isn't it, really? More specifically, it's that left wing. We're not getting many goal contributions from Hardy. Burkholt's chipped in with a number of goals. Diomande, not as many as I was hoping for. He was a big goal scorer for us at Rangers from a Mazzala position. We've actually moved him forward to hopefully get him more involved, but we're not quite getting goals. So maybe it's that attacking midfield position that I need to look at. I'm still not convinced that a support striker is his best role in that attacking midfield position, so he may just change that back to an attacking midfielder like that. He's a little bit deeper, but provides. I think in a similar way to his Mazzala role at Rangers, he gets in around the edge of the box and gets into the box when necessary, and hopefully will be a source of goals for us in the future. But we're still finding our feet a little bit. We've worked out some of the kinks tactically. We've stopped trying to play through the middle and underlap because it just doesn't work when you have a lot of 4-4-2 diamonds being played in Germany, or you've got these sort of 7 at the back formations. You've got 5 defenders, 2 defensive midfielders. We just weren't getting through. So we're trying to use the wings a little bit more. We have kept the wing backs, much to Ashwin's displeasure, I'm sure, but I do like to have that additional overlap. And we have stopped the underlapping now to try and make proper use of that width. We are still going with the inside forwards and inverted wingers. Burkholt, really enjoying it out there. Hildebrand comes up with plenty of assists and Burkholt scores goals. So on that right wing, I'm very happy with what I see. On the left wing, less so. Simon Hardy not really contributing to a great many goals. Ralph Dawes had a bit of an injury problem, but is now back and ready to continue his development. Is he still 17? No, he's 18. At just 18, he's already one who looks like he's going to be a big player for us in the future. So we want to get him as much game time as we possibly can without overloading him. But I definitely see him as being a massive player for us. All right, let's get to that Apollon game. So this is League of Legends, guys. Now, I've watched Ashwin playing this a few times. I'll be honest, I still don't know what's going on. Here's our boy PMD Adaptable. This is his character running around, but I don't know what all of these people are doing. What's the overall aim here? Because you'll see them kill all of these little guys, then run off. So yeah, I'm utterly clueless about what this is meant to be. Maybe we'll ask a bit more when I'm off stream, perhaps. And if you are fortunate enough to be a subscriber, you will see we have now available to us some additional emotes. My chief emote designer, Chief's Kingdom, has come up with a brilliant one for raids, which I absolutely love. And I can't wait to be able to use them. Loki could depart Herta. Oh, absolutely not. When does your contract end? You're not going anywhere, my boy. That's a year and a half away. Do we? Well, let's just extend it. That's probably Lochi, not Lockie, isn't it? Lochi. Oh dear Lord. Okay, so we've had another message. This could be our last. Disappointing, seeing as we have a rating of C, but is it the supporters now? Do they have a moderate influence on the board? So, maybe that's the problem. So, despite a turnaround in our fortunes during the last stream, we're not out of danger yet. In fact, I think we're quite firmly in danger. Okay. And you'd like to think, though, this is a sort of game that we will absolutely smash. In fact, the next 3 are games that I expect us to win. All 3 at home, all 3 against teams who are struggling in the relative competitions, although Cadiz are doing quite well. But I think if we look at them in the Spanish League, I very much doubt they're doing as well as they are in the Conference League. So I'd like to think that we are the stronger team in all 3 of those fixtures, and we're at home, and we're finally in some decent form. Let's give Boskurt a run out in this one. We'll go Cristiano and Disassi. Try and mix it up a little bit, but you are most definitely not a ball-playing defender, and you never will be again. You have cost me too many points already. Cohane can play as left back in this one. I suppose we can go Kari, and let's go with Herrera, shall we? What's he unhappy about? He thinks we're underachieving. Well, yes, we are. There's no 2 ways about that. We are most definitely underachieving. But if we all try to play a bit better, we'll be less underachieving. Funny how that works, isn't it? It's almost like when you guys play well, we do well. Who'd have thought? Okay, let's go and do a thing. Let's go and do a thing. In fact, I did a thing the other night. So I am a Gillingham season ticket holder, and anyone who knows English football knows Gillingham is in Kent. What you may not know is I'm also a Kent County cricket fan, and they were doing a little competition for Gillingham season ticket holders, offering out free tickets to the T20 game against Essex tomorrow. And I've only gone and won a pair of tickets, so I get to go and watch the cricket tomorrow, which I've not done in. I don't think I watched any last year, so I'm quite excited to go along to a cricket match. But I'm pretty sure that's the first time I've ever won a competition such as that, so I was very excited when I got that email yesterday. And we're putting some pressure on Apollon here, but we really could do with getting a goal of some kind. That'll do it. That'll do it. Well done, Cho. That's what we needed, because, well, they said if we don't win, we're pretty much sacked. That's 2 games in a row we've had that message. I hope it doesn't continue on indefinitely. But I think we're going to need to get ourselves into European places in the league for our board to stop thinking about who else is out there. Bakari now with the crossover to Cho, who can't quite get the header on target, but well, I said at the top of the stream, didn't I? Oh, I think we need a new striker. I've got that 100% wrong. That's not what we need. I think left wing is probably where one of the areas we need to look at, although Dor could well put his stamp on the team. But attacking midfield, someone to rotate with Diomande, if not necessarily take over from him. But that might give us a little something as well. Let's give Vega another chance there, because he still has plenty of potential, I think. He has scored some absolutely wonderful goals for us in the few appearances I've let him make since Diomande's arrival. And perhaps I need to remember that he's there and is a viable option. Bergholt now steals the ball, puts it forward for Cho, and it comes off of the post, but he's first to the follow-up, and that's 2-0. And at least we get to keep our job for another match. I think one of the reasons I keep picking on the striker as the position that I think we need to strengthen is the fact that our XG generally is much higher than the number of goals we actually score. So that's probably what's colouring my thoughts on this. Right, we'll get Schaefer on and we'll move Cho out to the left, even though it's not his strongest position. He's better cutting in off the right. Boskurt really doesn't like this level. Maybe right back is another place to look at. Although 19 million pounds doesn't really go that far. And the final change we will make is we're going to get Herrera off, who has been moaning about us not doing very well and is just sitting there complacently doing nothing. So let's get him off the pitch. Lots of changing around in some of their players there. I'm sure I just saw them put their left back up front, which is, well, it's definitely an interesting way to try and switch things up. And can Cho get his hat-trick? He is, I think, our first choice penalty taker as well, so you'd expect him to bury this, and he does exactly that. 3-0. Apollon pushed aside, and that's us into the knockout rounds. And I think that is probably us qualified, or not quite, but a point in the next one will do and get us through to the round of 16. And more fitness concerns. Now, I think, yeah, we've only got these 2 games before we've got a break, so I'm not going to rest anyone. Actually, can I just rest him for the next one? That might be the way to do it. Excellent, okay. Let's go and put him on rest from training, just as kind of a reminder to me that I need to rest him. And then we'll bring him back for Cadiz. Actually, let's give everyone a rest from training tomorrow. Or everyone who started anyway. Oh, you're going to make me do it this way. Okay. Oh my goodness, this is a pain in the bottom. There we go. Right. All I wanted to do is give them a little rest. Because I'd still like to put out a mostly strongest team for the next couple of games. Because, well, our job seems to be on the line still. We had a praise for you, good boys. So the big news today on Sky Sports is this what they're calling a merger between Live PGA and the European Tour. Rather sounds to me like Live have bought the two existing tours. It must be an awful sellout for some of the players who have they've stuck to their guns about not going to play for the Saudi League, have they? And now they're being told they're effectively being bought out. It's not their choice anymore. So yeah, I mean golf's done as far as I'm concerned. All right, so we're being told again it's another decisive match. Despite this most recent form that includes lots of wins, we are very much under the cosh. So a win could get us up a place maybe above Augsburg, but we need Wolfsburg, Hoffenheim, Leipzig, Mainz all to start dropping some points for us. And Bayern Munich are just far and away the best team. It's not even close for the rest of us. I'm just hoping that message stops coming up by the time we pay. By the time Bayern Munich pay us a visit in January, because, well, that's not going to be good. We're not likely to win that one. And in fact, I'd probably feel rather cheated if we were to end up getting sacked because we lost to Bayern Munich. That doesn't feel like that would be very nice. Cross the way. Right. Is tomorrow the Conference League final? I think it is, isn't it? What are the chances West Ham are going to come away with a European trophy? Okay, right, let's clear out the team and start from the beginning. It's better as a cover. Now, it's probably not a bad role for you to do. Your anticipation's quite good. What have we got you training? Let's switch this up. I think you're very much now a box-to-box box-to-box defender. That's not even a thing, Adam. You're now a ball-playing defender. That is your role. And alongside you, no, we don't want Keeley. We want him at defensive midfield. Disassi, Akerley, or Eckerley. Akerley. We're going with Akerley. That's what we're calling him. And then we will have Kari and Keeley. I think it's Hildebrandt's turn. Let's give Vega a run out as well. And Dor gets another start. Perfect. Who was that 3-star striker? Diamande, interesting. Okay, let's get out there and beat Nuremberg, shall we? Apologies, just messaging a friend about what time I'll pick them up tomorrow for the game. Right. Go do stuff, go do stuff. Let's do a thing. I do like the graphics for German games. I've not seen these before, so yeah, I quite like all of that. The television style presentation. And Dor attempting to get through there, but somehow giving away a goal kick from that position. Gabri Veiga now, that's a header across. Cho is there. I don't know how that's not got in. Oh, wow. And for whatever reason, the Nuremberg keeper decides to kick it straight to ours, who I was fairly certain was going to get himself tackled for no good reason, but we do come away with the ball, but lose it trying to attack. Well, that's a heavy touch, and Hildebrand picks up on it. That's forward for Dor, and Keeley with the overlap, and tries to curl one into the top corner, but doesn't quite manage it. And I'm not sure that's necessarily what we've got him in the side for. Gabri Veiga now, and Keeley gets up, but can't quite get his head to the ball. Hildebrand takes over on the right-hand side, cuts into the box. Gabri Veiga, and easily caught. And once again, our XG just keeps climbing, but our goal scored does not. Akeley's fitting in fairly well in that left-back position. He's proved to be a decent understudy for Cohane. As we create another chance that ends up giving us nothing. So we're going to demand more of the team because we should have a goal by now, and that's not good. Cho's taken a knock. I'm hoping we might be able to nurse him through for a good portion of this game, but his fitness doesn't seem to be going back up, so we're probably going to have to take him off. And thankfully, Marechal makes a good save. Dor now trying to bring the ball out, but he lays it back for Kari. Kari? We're going to call him Kari. Cho plays the ball through towards Hildebrand, but not quite quick enough to get there. And we recycle at the back. And Keeley now forward for Veiga. Good run from Veiga. Cho, and it's goal number 1. And I think that gives me a bit of confidence to bring Cho off at half time. Now we've actually got the goal, I can relax a little bit. Look at that, XG of 1.72, and I mean, I definitely feel like we should have 2 or 3 here. Dor now charging down the left wing, big ball over for Hildebrand, who heads it over the top. What a pointless highlight that was. Wasn't even close. But 1-0 up at half time. I can tell them we're not happy. That made most of them fired up. It's upset that door, but there we go, we've recovered it. But we should get Cho off. Says unaffected by the knock. We'll give him 10 minutes or so. Just give him a chance to score a second, or at least be involved in a second, before we take him off. Tight hamstring. Okay, right, let's get him off now. That's more than I'm willing to risk him. Schaefer can come on up front. Maybe we do need a striker, but a rotation option. We've gone from having Cho and Wahi to just having Cho, really. And we brought in Simon Hardy as a replacement for Wahi, not thinking about who we might need up front. But we'll give Schaefer a run out, and I think we'll leave it at that for now. I've got Kohane on the bench, but I mean, it would have to be desperate because I've told him I'll rest him. We'd lose the ball in that attack quite unnecessarily. But Nürnberg really just lump it forward with no real hope of doing anything with it. I think they're playing a 4-4-2, which is probably at least part of the reason. Hildebrand trying to beat the same man 4 times before finally laying it off to Kari, back to Bradley, and he charges in, and oh, that's a wonder goal. Oh, I love to see that. And you've got a right back who's willing to charge into the box like Bradley did just then. It's a thing of beauty. I was waiting for a cross. He had 3 men waiting, and instead he just saw the space and charged into it himself. And that makes me, again, a bit more comfortable. We'll get Bradley off now because he looks quite tired. Let's make another change or 2 here as well. And Keeley can come off for... Let's get Chrysostomu in that position, shall we? And Hildebrand for Berkholt. And interesting, looks like Dortmund might be losing because this will put us above them if it continues. And Schaefer just not strong enough there. That was a gilt-edged chance, and unfortunately he just got muscled off the ball. Schaefer with a chance to make amends though, out to Boskurt. It's a ball in for Gabri Vega, and it just whistles past the post. Right, let's make our last change of the game, shall we? And that change shall be Herrera on for Kari, I think. We'll put Chrysostomu in the Segundo, isn't it? Segundo Volante position. With that move up towards 8th, we are just 4 points now off of the Champions League positions, and it's starting to make me feel like hopefully the board and supporters should start getting on board with us soon. Or at least stop being quite so mean. I've got visions of in Ted Lasso when the fans first meet Ted. Or he's first on the pitch, and they just chant wanker at him. That's how I imagine every game at Hertha at the moment. And this isn't going to help if we concede there, but we're fortunate enough that Nürnberg weren't really good enough to punish that. In fact, we are just going to waste as much time as we can through to the end of the game. Good ball through for Burkholt, and that's a penalty. And it's surely a no-brainer, ref. In fact, you might want to give a bit of consideration to that red card in your pocket. And it is indeed a pen. So Burkholt steps up. Put it away, buddy. Or hit it straight at the goalkeeper so softly that he's able to catch it. Again, XG 3.5, 2 goals. We need to be far, far more clinical. Okay, well, it's another win, and we're kind of limping our way through at the moment, it feels. We've jumped above Dortmund, and yet 4 points off of Leipzig in 4th. We're definitely giving ourselves a bit of a chance here. And Hoffenheim do have a game in hand, so it might go back to 5 points. But even so, we are slowly giving ourselves a bit more respectability. Fans still hate me. They hate me less. They hate me less. C-. Well, maybe they won't tell us we're going to get sacked if we don't win the next game. That'd be nice. Just one game to. If I can go into one game without having to say to the boys, win, otherwise I'm out of here, would be nice. Right. Let's rest the starting 11. So we can get as many of them as possible in for the next one. Which, yeah, I mean, a draw there will be enough to ensure that we end up in the round of 16. I think we've done well enough to get there anyway. If I'm honest with you, there's probably not a team who we might face in the playoff round that I'd be worried about. Looking at it, it would likely be, what, Besiktas down to Karat, maybe Basel, Lech Poznan, all teams that we should be able to beat easily. Okay, moving on. Well, Ashwin's going back in for another one. Okay, last match before the winter break and, well, the start of the January transfer window. Got to really start to work out what my priorities for that transfer window are this time around. I'm dithering between a right back because I just don't think Bozkurt's ready for as much game time as he needs to be able to play. And a kind of a striker, second striker / attacking midfielder. Don't know. I think we'll just see what's available, I guess. So if you're new here and you're not following already, please do drop a follow. And then sit back and enjoy as we try to get ourselves out of some trouble with Hertha. I mean, it was all trouble, to be fair. due to some pretty tricky matches at the start of the season. And within our first 5 games, we were away to Bayern Munich and away to Dortmund. We didn't help ourselves by losing to Hoffenheim, Mainz and Gladbach in 3 consecutive matches, but let's do keep in mind that Gladbach, Mainz and Hoffenheim are all towards the top of the division, so it's not as if we were losing to relegation-threatened teams. We were still adapting to a new way of playing, and I guess it just took a bit longer than perhaps I'd have liked. But either way, we are starting to turn things around. Hopefully this match against Cadiz will be relatively straightforward, and we can go into the winter break with just a little bit of hope. Now, Disassi, how tall are you? You're 6'3", Cristiano's 6'2". Who's the better header? Interesting. Do you have a preferred side of the pitch? No. No. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to change the... Oh, well, no wonder we're not scoring from set pieces. I thought I'd loaded these. No, it's because I've loaded them on the wrong one. Right, let's load all of these up. Or maybe that's why we've not been scoring as many goals as I would have liked. Okay, right. Well, we've got our set piece tactics now set, which is good. And actually what I was going in here for was because on the attacking corners, I just want to swap these guys. So Disassi should now be my main target. There we go. Well, let's see if that ends up being the massive turnaround that we've all been waiting for. Hayne just keeps getting better and better, doesn't he? Okay, maybe I might have been sleeping on this as well. Maybe defensive midfield is another, getting that proper Segundo Volante. It is Segundo. Getting someone who will do that role for us might be another thing we need to look at. Well, let's try Chrysostomou in that position. See how he gets on. Cho is not really in much position to start this one. I'm going to start Diamande up front. I think we need to, don't we? Don't think we've got a huge amount of option. Yeah, you can sit on the bench. He probably won't play. And Cho can... We might stick him out for the second half. I'm not ready to start Schaefer up front, I don't think. Hence why we're going with Diamande instead. Let's see if we can keep this form going. Okay, let's go and beat Cadiz. Or Cadiz. Hey, that was a decent first chance. And that's a bit of a wild shot in the end, but at least we're having a couple of shots. And Diomande with an interesting attempt at goal there. Could have done better. He's got a 7.0 rating, so it suggests that he's trying to cause problems for the opposition. Just wondering what his preferred role is. Doesn't really have one, does he? False 9, that's interesting. And Ralph Dorr has, oh yeah, it's a cracker of a goal. Not bad to be 18 and have the confidence to do that in a European match. What a goal. And I'd take that as vindication for my decision to retrain him as a left winger so that he can do exactly things like that. Since you've been gone, since you've been gone. Oh, and Gabri Veiga trying to get one in from outside the box as well. It's all been one-way traffic so far, but as has been the problem pretty much all season, we need to really start taking advantage of these situations and get more goals. Dorr doing his best there. Veiga now breaking into the box. Can he get it across? It's Bergholt, and it's 2. Much, much better. Can feel the confidence starting to flow through the side. Like Dorr is injured, so we're going to have to get him off at half time. And we've conceded a goal when, what is that, a first shot? My goodness. Sloppy at the back there. It's not much more than just a hoof into the box, is it? There's that Connor Bradley at the back post, yeah, just been beaten in the air when he shouldn't be. Okay, let's see if we can inspire them onto a better second half. We are going to take off Ralph Dorr and we're going to bring on Cho. And actually, let's have him cutting in from that wing, shall we? I've never played a false 9, and if I'm honest with you, I don't know if I want to play him as a false 9. Let's try. Let's try. Let's put Veiga in as a shadow striker and see if those two complement each other. I'd like to think they will. I may be sorely disappointed by this. Cho, has he taken a knock again? I think he has. His condition has just deteriorated massively there. I don't want him to be in a position where I have to sub off a sub, but I will if it means... Well, actually, I've got a bit of time. Maybe I'll leave him on. We've got a bit of time before the next match. And Veiga gets in on the act. There we go. Gabri Veiga. making sure that I understand that he is there as a second option in that attacking midfield position. Bradley with breaking forward there, and Vega still is very good on the ball, isn't he, Gabri Vega? Bradley charging down that right wing, and we are running with the ball beautifully. Out for Cho. Can't quite get his head to the ball. And Chrysostomou has quite an audacious attempt from the edge of the box with his head, but it very nearly goes in. Cho doesn't look like he's recovering. I may have to take him off. We will leave Gabri Vega on because he's just been too good. Chrysostomou hasn't impressed, so hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't really done much to get my attention. Well, I think Connor Bradley is another one who's had a very good game, but it's time for him to come and sit this one out. And we'll hold on to the last two and see who's really struggling in the last 10 minutes or so. Gabri Vega with the corner. It's cleared away, but we will sweep that up. And Bradley doing well to steal the ball as they try to get in behind. Big ball forward for Burkholt there. We're in behind the defence. Can he cut it across? Diamandi's there, and he gets a goal. Oh, maybe Diamandi is a false nine after all. But good to see him pick up a goal. Been slightly concerned with his lack of them so far, but he's come in with one. Perfectly timed run there. Right, we're going to get... Oh, I'm going to leave Cho on. He'll be fine. Burkholt can come off, and we'll get Hildebrand in there. And Vega can come off now. He's deserved a rest. And we'll get Schaefer up front, and we'll make you an attacking midfielder and you an advanced forward. And let's see if we can see this one out. Nice 4-1 win will do us very, very nicely indeed. That's one of the few times I think I've seen us outperform our XG, so that's also encouraging. And Schaefer so close to finally grabbing a goal, but unfortunately misses the chance. Kadith now with a free kick on the edge of the box. It's headed out for a corner. And any moment now, get your words out, Adam. Any moment now, the referee should blow his whistle, and this match will come to an end, and we will be through to the round of 16 in the Conference League. And that's headed over the bar. Any more time, ref? No, it is over. Lovely stuff. Okay, anything? Yeah, it's a round of 16 qualification for us. 431,000 win. £431,000 for the win. It's not as much as the Champions League, is it? Let's give Vega a bit of praise because he did do very well. And Nkili is banned for the first leg of our round of 16 tie. That's It's a shame, but it is what it is. Okay. Well, we now have the winter break, so we need to think about what we're doing in terms of strengthening this squad in the January transfer window. We only have 18.5 million, so we could potentially look at strengthening one position. There are three where I think we need, where we potentially need to beef up a little bit. So right back, I think, is one of those areas. Bradley is absolutely perfect as our first choice. He is playing very well. Boska is kind of our second choice because Akani is he plays through the centre. Disasi is very much the centre back as well, and Akerley is left-footed, so he's not really. They're not really right backs. Although, if I remember rightly, our boy Akani likes playing as a right wing back, so maybe that's where I should look to put him. But then he's competing with Connor Bradley, and actually I think Akani's good enough to be starting. So centre back, central midfield, defensive. I mean, defensive midfield might be the place that I keep him. And that's a Segundo Volante role. But looking outside of that, so if we say these are our right backs, these are our centre backs. We'll take you and you out. These five are competing for those two centre back positions, I think. I think that's realistic to say. And then left back, we really only have the two choices. It's not great. Maybe, but then Akerley has, I think, proved to be a worthy understudy. And then in this defensive midfield role, we've got a few options again. Cohane really isn't likely to be there. Akani, I think, could. As that Segundo Volante could well continue in that position. Kari and Herrera are fine as backups. And obviously Nkili is our first choice for the most part. Chrysostomou can do a role in there. Kind of. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's somewhere to strengthen. Herrera is not great and hasn't really proven himself so far under my leadership. And then on the right wing, Lugaliu, Schaefer. I mean, Lugaliu's only in the first team squad for a bit of experience, really. Really should try and give this boy a bit more game time, but he sat behind Burkholt and Hildebrand. It's probably the area on the pitch where we are strongest in depth. So I think they're likely our three, and we stick with that. No need to change that. I mean, alternatively, Hildebrand becomes an attacking midfielder, but that's where I've got Diamandi and Vega. Let's ignore Solanke for that. I think, yeah, I don't think we need to do too much there. Over on the left, however, we've got Hardy, and then we've got Ralph Dorr. Why is Ralph Dorr not appearing on here? Let's add him in. And yeah, so we're quite strong over on that left, although injuries to both of them weakens that. You know, we do have Cho who can cover there. Diamande can also cover there. And then up front, we have Cho. Solanke doesn't count, I'm afraid. He's on his way out. And then we've got Schaefer and Lochi. And while they've both got decent potential, neither are really ready to start scoring at this level, at this point, at this stage. So, I didn't realise he's quite as big as he is. He's 6'6". How have I not seen this? We need him in our squad. A 6'6" striker. What is wrong with me? Look at this man, 6'6". how have I ignored this? Well, I mean, he's still not the answer. He's still not the answer. But I do think striker is the place where we need someone in sooner rather than later. Apparently, my boy has just disappeared from my squad planner. That's fine. There we go. He's there now. So, I think striker is probably where we need someone, not necessarily to take a starting place, but someone who is able to rotate in and maybe push for a start. Okay, Connor Bradley has done his intensive course. Who are you? Yangel Herrera, you want to leave? I mean, I'm not gonna argue with him. Yeah, reasonable beard. It's a fair number. I think we can go a bit higher than that, buddy. 5 mil. What's his supposed? I mean, let's be sensible, right? Okay, £4 million is his value, and look at that. Straight away, we're going to offer less than that. Hit the road. Okay, so maybe we do need another defensive midfielder then, just as a backup. Let's get our scouts going on a couple of things. Okay, they're already looking out for a Volante, a Segundo Volante, so we'll leave them to continue that, but we'll also take a look at what they can find for us as a striker. Of the equator significator. And the clock, bikini bottoms, lager tops. I could get used to this. Alright, let's continue. Jimena, you know where I'll be. Shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. Oh. Yeah, let's blame it on the previous manager. To be fair, we turned up to a squad that only had 18 senior players, and I think 4 or 5 we sold on because they had release clauses that we could do nothing to stop them. Okay, those 3 for sure. Reguilon wanted to leave, and then Serdar, I think we just part exchanged him because didn't really need him, he's too old. So yeah, that's very much down to the previous manager. I don't think there's any doubt about that. 20 days until our next game. Gosh, that feels ages away. But at least some of those players who were starting to need rests quite frequently. Hopefully they can go away and get themselves a bit of rest and come back ready for the second half of the season, because we desperately need to continue the good form we've had over the last 10 or so games. And to do that, we need our full squad available to us. Shall we have a look and see just who's floating around? And yes, I think we need to make sure they are available in Europe. Let's have a look. We've got 18 players. Yeah, we're having to really stretch things because we've not got many homegrown players at all, which is a shocker, seeing as the youth setup at Hertha seems to be absolutely incredible. But then if they've been a selling club, then I suppose it probably makes sense. So yeah, any new additions will absolutely have to be homegrown in Germany, unless it's a one in, one out kind of thing. And Herrera might be the one out. But if we do sell him, I do think we probably need to replace him. Although we have Akane. Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Now Akane's back from injury. Maybe his replacement comes from the B team. Maybe. Let's wait and see. Alright, squad are off on a break. Let's see what they've got for me at the recruitment meeting, shall we? So we've got Koba Line, who is a defensive midfielder. Can play a Segundo Volante role. It's in decent form actually for Valencia. 31 to 38 million. No, it's probably more. It's definitely more than we want to spend. It's more than we've got to spend. And we've got Noah and Bamba, who, could do a job. Would be a decent backup option. And then Sotiris Alexandropoulos, who, again, would be potentially a decent backup, but quite expensive as a backup option. So probably not what we need. Strikers, we've got far more options. But again, it's pricing that's a bit of an issue there. Only one really within our range is this guy Randall Kolo Muani, who isn't going to improve. He's 32. I don't know if I want to spend that much on a player who is that age and isn't really going to trouble the first team. And then we've got Kisima Sissoko at Barcelona. They've given him a C+, so I don't really think a great deal of him, clearly. But he's at Barcelona for a reason, surely. He's made 5 appearances from the bench in the La Liga already, only made 6 last season. His lack of composure is the only thing that really lets him down as a striker, so maybe it's not that bad. And would be very, very cheap as well. £1.7 million, well within our budget. New under-19s goalkeeping coach, isn't that good? And I've just realised I'll keep muting myself when I'm texting my wife on WhatsApp. So apologies for that. I don't know how long I've been muted there. But ultimately, those strikers, Fabio Silva, possibly. Wages of Sissoko, absolutely insane, and we are definitely not going in for that. £1.7 million is less than we'd spend on him in a few weeks in wages. So whatever savings we think we're making on the transfer fee, we're just paying to him in wages, and I'm not doing that. So we'll do our business late in this transfer window, I think. I do want to give Lochi a chance as our backup striker. If that doesn't work out, and we've got a few games before the end of January. We've got 4 matches, so we'll see how he gets on in these 3, and we'll probably try to give him a start in one of those. Actually, these aren't. There are no mugs in the matches that we've got coming up. So we may not. He may have to come off the bench, but if he impresses us in whatever appearances he does make, then he will probably just be our backup striker, and we'll look to spend that money elsewhere, possibly in defensive midfield positions as a replacement for Herrera. So note for the future, note to self, change the key bindings for my mic, I think. Need to mute my mic on a key other than X. There we go. We'll do it as / because I'm far less likely to type that at any point. So I wonder how busy a transfer window we will end up having. Not looked at the rest of the squad actually to see who is holding on to a release fee clause. I'd like to think not too many more. We sold 3 players out of necessity because we didn't have an option. If we just quickly scroll through and see who's got one, we've got Akerley's got one for £50 million. That's fine. I don't think anyone's doing that. David Akani is a worry, £44.5 million. And some interest from Sassuolo, but I don't think they're going to be in the Champions League. No, they're not. So don't need to worry about that one. Keeley, we certainly know that he's only just joined us. Hopefully that means he won't go now, but £54 million isn't bad. Burkhalt's got a £57 million release fee, and well, Milan are interested, and presumably they are still very much in the Champions League, so could be one that has to that concerns us. Conor Bradley's is 40 million, 70 million for Cho. Again, these are all in the Champions League clauses, so hoping that if we can get through this January transfer window without losing them, we will be in the Champions League next season, so they'll become meaningless. Hardy's got one, Dorr has one. Hildebrands is unqualified, so £56 million for him. So there could potentially be a few players who we lose the fight to hold on to. I hope not, but we need to be prepared. So we may have to make some fairly late replacements. Fingers crossed we can keep it as planned as possible, but we need to be ready for the possibility that someone might just come and snatch some of our players from right under our noses. And there'll be nothing we can do about it if they meet that release fee clause. Alabama. And Ralph Dorr gets the European Golden Boy Award. Richly deserved. Nine goals in 30 appearances, 10 assists. Pretty impressive. And it feels quite encouraging that we've got a player like that on our books. Does anyone in here interest us? I've got to be honest, the first thing I'm looking at is the price. We're fairly tapped out when it comes to our budget. Ben Doak, yeah, you're not really in a position that we need. Well, this guy looks good. £25 million. So it's not necessarily needed all up front. 6'4", which is a big left back. Not much of a wing back though, so might not really fit in with the style that we like to play. Let's do it this way. Let's see who's at the cheaper end. Anyone who jumps out here. Daniel Iverson, a nice cheap backup goalkeeper. And we'll get into the likes of Sissoko, who's just far too expensive. That may be some reason, some of the reason why he's so lowly rated by our scouts. Just his wage request would be absolutely beyond us. Nikola Vlasic, I mean, 33. That's a problem, isn't it? Okay, well, let's continue on. Nothing quite jumps out at me there. And some of our business in the summer window was very much just to fill the squad and get bodies in. I think we can be a little bit more. We need to be a bit more selective, seeing as the money we have is very limited. So we'll only go in for someone who genuinely is going to strengthen the squad or act as replacement for a player who departs. Okay. So Plymouth are in the Championship. Interesting. And they want it. No, he's not going. We're not going to send him to England to be a fringe player. Kem Sinar is another one who there were a lot of offers for him in the summer as well, and I don't really want to let him go that cheaply to any of these teams. Yeah, not answering. Let's carry on. I want to ask me an awful lot of questions about potentially losing players. I don't want any of them to go. I want them all to stay. Right, who's top of their recommendations? We're looking at goalkeepers here, aren't we? Yep. Let's add homegrown status. Where does that come in? General. Oh, it's right there. It's right there, Adam. It's obvious. Have a look. Right. So, lots of people, very good, far too expensive. Phil Schultz looks like he would be a very good signing for us, but problem, Gladbach are above us. I don't know why he'd move. I certainly wouldn't. This lad we did try to look at, but no scout reports really came in, I don't think. Robert Wagner here can play a role, but probably not to the level that we're looking for. You want to leave? Why do you want to leave? Oh, relegation. That's always a good reason to leave a club. £46 million is just a little bit rich, though. Okay, so probably not much out there for us in this transfer window. That's fine. That's fine. I think we've got the squad to do what we need to. Might be the need to replace Herrera. if he does leave us. But there is a young centre-back in the B team, in the second team, who maybe could come up and provide the same level of cover. I mean, Herrera's not really started many games at all, so no reason why we can't give that job of sitting on the bench or not even making the bench to an 18-year-old. But it is, yeah. Well, again, it's going to be another fairly reactive transfer window for us, I think. Right. Board have us at C, supporters still have us at C minus. So it's definitely going in the right direction. And players don't hate me either anymore, which is nice to see. Okay, they don't want to pay his wages, and no, we're not loaning him out. And Cohen can now speak German, which is good. Now I've got this player speaking German, hopefully we'll start to blend a little bit better. And no, we're not going to loan out Rob Eaton because he's the one who I was looking at as potentially being Herrera's replacement if we do sell him. Fight the break of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone, save tonight. Fight the break of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. Right, we are going to take actually a quick 2-minute break, so hopefully we'll see you all back shortly. And we're back. So, nothing exciting happening here. Solanke is going on a free. Lovely. Let's see him off, shall we? Well, many of the players will soon be back from what I think has been a 3-week break for them, hopefully. That's exactly what they needed. Who is Ali Dreyer? Give me 50 up front and then another, let's say 25, shall we? That'll do. I always wonder why I bother when it comes to negotiating those sorts of deals. Player who's never going to be good enough for us. I should just accept them, shouldn't I? Why do I? It's 80,000. I think I made an extra, what, £30,000 out of that deal, maybe? I'm going to reject that one. I'll reject that one. And we'll reject that one as well. That was nice and easy. Well, I hoped we were going to have a quiet one. I didn't realise it meant that everyone's going to try and try to loan a bunch of my first team players. While they're not necessarily first choice, they are in the first team, and they've got a role to do. Yeah, sure, you can have that one. That's fine. Are you on the? You're on the loan list. We need to take you off that then. In fact, have I got any of these others on the loan list? Am I? Yeah. Inadvertently offering these guys out. Let's see if everyone else wants you. End of contract. No? Okay. Let's see if anyone's willing to make an offer for me now. They're desperate to ask me about Akeley's release clause. I don't care. Okay, it looks like they're just going to keep offering him contracts. He'll keep saying no, and no one will be any better off by the end of it. Lugalio, unfortunately, does need to stay with us just as, as a body, really, to cover. It would be nice to get him out on loan, but we just don't have the depth in the squad to allow him to go out yet. There we go. So we finally get a complete squad scout report on, I've forgotten his name already, but the Danish lad, and he's alright, but certainly not worth the money they're asking for. Oh. Well, that's a problem. that's a big problem. So 2 days before we restart the season and we've lost Cho. Okay, we're going to have to leave that to the physio, and now we need to desperately look at a striker. We may have to look at potentially trying to loan someone. Alright, let's see if we can strike up a loan deal. Karim Adeyemi, that would be good. Yeah, he would be a good signing, actually. Mandatory future fee is a bit off-putting. Let's see if we can get them to agree to an optional fee. Happily pay a bit over the odds for that. £10 million loan. Let's see if we can bring that down. Perfect. Okay. If we can get him in at least before the Bayern game, that will be a good signing. Ideally before the Augsburg game, but I don't think it's going to happen. It doesn't happen that quickly, really, does it? So we've got a decision to make about this next game. We could attempt to put Diomande up front again as kind of like the false nine position that he ended the Cadiz game in, or we throw Lochi in at the deep end and stick him up front. He hasn't really got a huge amount of ability at the moment. I think Schaefer's ahead of him in terms of current ability. But Lochi is 6'6", and that just causes problems, doesn't it? Maybe we look at playing him as a poacher. Diomande in behind. Everyone expects a draw. I'd like a win, personally. I think we need to really start to beat the teams that are around us. Okay, we might go slightly over our wage budget bringing in Adeyemi, but we might just need to do it anyway. Okay, so decision time. Let's have Connor Bradley. Actually, I think Carney can go into that defensive midfielder role. Let's see how he gets on there. Well, we'll go with Cristiano and Disasi as our two centre-backs. Simon Hardy being back may not be a bad thing. Ralph Dorr, is back to fitness. Right, yeah, I think we are going to go for Lochi. We'll try it out. Let's see how the first 45 goes. If necessary, we can get Diamande up front and Vega can come on. I know I could look at Solanke, but I don't want to. I don't think he's good enough. I suppose Schaefer can be another option. Right, let's hope that that injury to Cho doesn't destroy us in this match. Definitely has got the potential, all of the potential to be a real spoiler in this match. Cho being our biggest goal-scoring threat, being injured for 3 to 5 weeks now means that, well, we've got thoughts we need to have. Let's go. I don't like how we're boxed in for a throw there. We've just given it away. I mean, we've just conceded a goal within a minute and a half, and we've given it to them. That's utterly pathetic. Burkholt receives the ball back, drives into the box and hits the post. And it's going to be another one of those. We're going to have a massive XG, aren't we? And we're going to score no goals, and we're going to lose this because of a bad throw-in. Oh, Football Manager. Lochi now. Can he get a goal on his first start for the club? He can. Well, well, well. I don't know how I ever doubted this 6'6" man mountain. And Disasi nearly follows up with a second. Oh, I'm a lot happier now. Now I've seen that big lad score. I'm a very happy man. And Connor Bradley does well to steal the ball there, and we are moving forward. Diamande now. Ball through for Burkholt, who should be able to finish from here, and it's 2-1. And no, he was never offside. Not in a million years, ref. There we go. VAR won't let you cheat, referee. Good ball through, and yeah, simple finish in the end. Excellent stuff. Well, it's a very good move from Augsburg. I do think Odegaard was offside there. Certainly looked it to me, yeah. But it just shows that we're still just that little bit vulnerable. And the pressing there was not good enough. We were too far away from Moran. We were too far away from Reese. I think that's something we'll go straight in and try to fix. And some shoddy goalkeeping nearly gives away a second goal there. And Marachal's just well, it's just patted that down. You got very lucky. Bradley clears this time, and Simon Hardy just loses the ball. Just put it out. Hardy now gets into the box. Can he do something? And it's a goal. So his 5th goal of the season, and well, it's coming at a good time. I've started to doubt Hardy a little bit, but that was that was all him. Just burst past his defender, gets in behind, and then smashes it in from a very acute angle. But well, the goalkeeper, despite being recovering about 90% of Hardy's view of the goal there, can't do anything about it. And we are 3-1 up. And, well, I mean, my little tantrum after conceding within the first 90 seconds has dissipated a little bit. I do think we're starting to starting to look like a team that deserves to be in the Champions League next season. We've still got some way to go. We've got some ground to make up, but we are looking more and more like a club that deserves to do just that. Lovely stuff. Look, I hope they regret playing a stupid 7 at the back. Right, let's make the first couple of substitutions. Akani, who's been out for a while, can come off. I'm going to leave Lochi on. Yeah, I'm going to leave him on. I think he's earned the chance to finish the game with his goal, which got us back on level terms. I think we'll also bring off Bergholt for Hildebrandt. Bergholt definitely feels like he's first choice now, but Hildebrandt is just perfect as a backup. Man, they're flying in there. And if we restrict them to shots like that from distance all game, I'll be happy. Oh, Diamante's done really well. It was a lovely touch to get him through, and a delicate chip over the goalkeeper, and he is starting to make himself known in this squad. Excellent stuff there. And from a game that our board and our supporters thought we should, or they were expecting us to draw in, we've blown them away. They've had plenty of chances, and this is another game where we have massively outperformed our XG, and it's nice to be able to see that given how the season started. We will bring off Vega, Diamante and Nkili for Vega and Kari as we just try and freshen things up. But this has turned around quite nicely, this match. We've not been massively dominant. We've not had more of the ball. We've not even really had that many more shots. But we've finished them. And that's something we weren't able to do just at the start of the season. And that's a thoroughly enjoyable 5-1 win. And we've just had to give away some of our transfer budget because Marichal's played 50 league games. Oh well. It is what it is. Let's give these boys all a rest for a day just to make sure they are ready for the cup game against Wolfsburg. So 2 big games coming up now. Wolfsburg away and then Bayern Munich at home. Not sure if I expect to win either of them. It would be nice to at least get through to the next round of the cup, given we're still just ever so slightly shaky, although opinion of the board and supporters does seem to be improving now that we're up into 8th. So we might get away with a bit of cup disappointment here. And Adeyemi is coming in to join us on loan. Well, I said I wanted a bit of backup in the striker position, and I don't think we can do a great deal better than Adeyemi on loan for 6 months. Let's get him registered in the squad straight away. And the fact that he's homegrown in Germany as well obviously means that we should, I think, be able to register him in our Conference League squad as well. So, ticks all the boxes, that man. Well, our coach's opinion seems to be quite different depending which screen I'm on, but I mean, he's still got so much pace. And if you can use that to score a goal or two, I'm going to be a very happy man. Oh, well, there's a bit of a bidding war here for Ali Dreyer. I'm just going to accept them all and he can decide where he wants to go from there. For that level of transfer fee, I'd feel pretty rotten saying no to one club because they've offered a few thousand less than another one. Okay. Happy to stay at the club, which is good to know because he's a player with 4-star potential, I believe, so he can definitely play a role for us at some point, I think. I'll happily let him go out on loan, but I don't want to sell him. And you know, I'm going to go. Chris is quite big as well, isn't he? He's another 6'3" man. Very good header. Let's give him a bit more game time. Carney can have another start there. And Adeyemi can come in for a start. And although it feels a bit harsh on Lochi, other than the goal, he really didn't contribute a great deal, did he? So Adeyemi on the bench makes things look a little bit better. Adeyemi on the bench. Adeyemi on the pitch makes things look better. My goodness, I'm struggling to talk at the moment. But Lochi can sit on the bench and potentially will come on at some point, depending on how things are going. So, cup action against Wolfsburg now, and definitely feels like one that we need to progress. The board certainly expects us to get a bit further on, and I've just seen their form. They've won all of their last 5. So this is going to be quite the test. Burkhardt Chrysostomou, who we brought in knowing full well he's quite good in the air, and he's done the job. And he's got his first goal for us. I mean, you can call me an absolute genius and I would listen and accept what you're saying, because he's done just the job. Bradley trying to cut inside for Diamande, and look who's there. It's that man Chrysostomou to cut it out, and Bradley goes on another marauding run down the right. Lays in for Burkhardt. It's crossed in towards Diamande. I think Wolfsburg did that themselves. I think that was the Wolfsburg defender who's managed to put that across. Probably should have done a bit better with that. Or Burkhardt capitalises on a bad mistake from the Wolfsburg defender there. And we're 2-0 up. Oh. We're a long way away from the form that we had at the start of the season, which probably would have seen us not score either of those. We genuinely struggled to get goals, even from very favourable positions at the start of the season. And now we seem to have found some form. And Adeyemi is completely free and clear there. And it's just an audacious chip over the goalkeeper. And, well, that's a debut and a half, isn't it? Glorious, glorious stuff. Well, there was me thinking this was going to be... I was pretty much setting myself up to lose this one. Didn't think we'd be 3-0 up at half time. That's an absolute rocket from Joe Scally, whoever Joe Scally is. Well done, that man. Where are you, Joe Scally? There you are. An American right back. Well, I doubt he'll get too many more like that in his career. Let's hope this isn't the... let's hope we're not going to slip up from here. Let's hope that wasn't the start of a comeback from Wolfsburg. To be fair, they've not really shown us much so far in this match, have they? So I'd like to think that they're not as up for it as we are. And it's Chrysostomou again. Do feel free to type in the chat, everyone. Adwin is a genius. 2 goals from the man who I brought in just because I thought he might score a goal from a set piece, and look at what's happened there. Also, it does make me wonder whether we'd have been better off at the start of the season if I'd remembered to make changes to my set piece setup. I mean, no, it was all the players' fault. Right, let's make some changes, and Healy can come off in preparation for the next one, as can Akane. And we're going to get Disasi on. Chrysostomou can stay in that position. Kohane can come off for Akerley, and Diamande can come off for Gabri Veiga. And let's hopefully go out and see out this match quickly and easily, please. See me right. Don't go changing time. Right. Let's get Ralph Dorr on for a quick 5-minute cameo, shall we? Lovely stuff. Well, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. I'm feeling a bit confident ahead of this Bayern Munich game. Confident as in we might actually have a bit of a chance of winning, maybe. Maybe that's overconfident, but it's hard not to feel confident after the 2 results we've had. We've scored 9 goals. Well, in the last 3, we've scored 13 goals and conceded 3. We are definitely starting to play in the way I intended for us when I joined. Oh, look at that. We've made it through to the quarterfinal. So, Stuttgart, Dusseldorf, Köln, Dortmund, Frankfurt, Munich, and Werder Bremen are still in with us. No easy games from here on out, but we've made it as far as our board expected us to, and that's another good thing. Right, let's go and welcome Adeyemi back in, shall we? Okay. Just a little press conference there for our boy Adeyemi. I mean, it's something, isn't it? We went from the first match of the stream and the last match of the last stream being told that the next match could be our last. I think we had that for the first 2 games of this stream. To board being delighted. Lovely stuff. Obviously, everyone's tune might change after this next match. Bayern Munich, even at home, are no easy prospect, and we're going to have to be at our very, very best to get anything out of this game. Having Karim Adeyemi in the side makes me feel an awful lot better about it. his career hasn't really taken off in the way that you might expect. But hopefully, Herta can be his revival. You want to trial with him? I mean, sure, but I expect he'll say no. There we go. Right, he's made his decision. He's going to Darmstadt 98. All the best, buddy. All the best. Oh boy. Okay, so big one coming up now. Bayern Munich by far and away the favourites, although actually those odds are closer than I would have expected. I would have expected Bayern Munich, who are 8 points clear at the top of the table, to be odds-on favourites for this match. And a win here, and we could find ourselves in that top 6, maybe even top 5, depending on how Leipzig get on in their game. We've lost Connor Bradley, which is that's a bit of a shame, that one. Might be a game for Akani potentially to even go and try his hand as a wing back. Hildebrand, well, and a few of those warnings about him not training well. He doesn't enjoy big matches. Fine. He's an ambitious. So ambitious personality could mean that he's unprofessional potentially. He wants to move to a bigger club. That'll be it, isn't it? I'd forgotten we'd promised him that. I don't know if this is the second part of that. It's the second window, so potentially that'll be the end of it. We shall see. But either way, he's second choice to Bergholt. Bergholt has been far too good so far this season for me to relegate him to the bench. Oh, good. I'm glad you didn't hear me singing then. Right. Let's put Kari in that Segundo Volante position, and Keeley can be our deep line playmaker as always. And we're going to go Burkholt, Diamande, Hardy, and new boy Adeyemi. It's dumping out when they move the chorus in. Just to head away. Brand and Lochi up front. How are you getting on with League of Legends, Ashwim? You won a game? No way! I hope you clipped it, mate, because I think that's the first time I've ever heard you say that. Was that your only win of the whole night? It sounds like a really frustrating game. It really does. Ranked-wise, yeah. Honestly, it sounds like you get as many wins as I used to playing Warzone. In fact, it probably sounds like you get more. And just as an aside, we've taken a lead within 2 minutes against FC Bayern. That's good stuff. Well, it's turned around a bit since our start of the season. Goalkeeper. That's twice he's done that tonight. Just dropped the ball back down in the box. He needs to do a little bit better there. Away. Good. Get out. My God, he just moved at the speed of light. And of course, first goal of the season. First ever goal for Bayern. Of course. Let's see where I was with FM, but can't be asked to play. I'm surprised you haven't uninstalled the game or something after the other night. Come on, boys, we don't need to give them the ball easily. Let's make them work for everything. Burkholt, good ball for Adeyemi. Burkholt again. This time for Adeyemi, and that's Upamecano who manages to get in the way. Pressed X instantly loaded league. And that was during a match, wasn't it? Sometimes you just have nights like that. We definitely had one at the start of this season. You won the match 5-1. So you went 1-0 down early on and went, right, I've had enough. I remember doing an online save with a friend of mine, and he disconnected like fairly early on in the match, maybe 20 minutes gone. And his assistant manager, apparently far better than him at FM, because he just turned it round. He just made a couple of changes to the formation, and all of a sudden, I was getting stomped all over. So maybe you had a really good assistant. And Burkholt misses a great opportunity for us to take the lead here again. we're definitely much more competitive against Bayern here. Obviously, we are the home side, and Bayern are still getting the better of the stats, but we're doing better than we've done before. They've kept Adeyemi very quiet in this one, right? Diomande is going to have to come off for Vega, and sadly, Nkili is too tired to continue, I think, so Herrera will have to come on. Actually, no, he won't. We'll put... let's bring on Disasi, I think. Then Chrysostomou can take a midfield position. Oh, we play Spurs in the Carabao Cup. Is this what stage are you at? At some point, you're going to have to play it, because you know you're coming back to FM. Oh, and we've just given that away, and they've hit the post, and I thought my defenders were going to contrive somehow to give them an easy opportunity. I'm not going to demand more, because I feel like we should be doing a bit better than that. Fourth round, okay. There's no cup on the line yet. I'd play it. Right, Hildebrand can come on. Simon Hardy can come off the door, who quite often will pop up with something pretty incredible, and we'll save that last sub for now. Still £127 million. Wow. Which is euros, I suppose you probably got it set as. I can only imagine what it's like to have that much money and not know where to spend it as well. Okay, let's pause and make our last change. Last change is going to be Chrysostomou for... Do you know what I'm going to get? Acleon. We'll give Cohane a chance, I think, in midfield. Gulabazunian, Madueke. Well, yeah. And yeah, do you know what? I've outperformed what I thought he was going to be able to do for you, just based on the disappearing potential. I thought, oh, you've been sold a dud there, but he's done well for you. No, you've got all of those players. You've still got 127 million left. Well, I'll take a draw here, I think. I'm not going to tell him I'm happy with that. We weren't really in it in the second half, but I will take a draw from that position, from against that side. Game in hand. We're not going to catch up on teams, but we're still making progress. How was he doing before he joined you? That's something I often look at. Is, if a striker, how many goals do they get in their current club or in their career recently, and if they're winger, midfielder, whatever, how many assists they get. But was he scoring goals before he joined you? Goals and assists. Maybe one of those unlucky things, mate. McKins, thank you very much for the raid. Much appreciated. Welcome. Welcome, Raiders. So you join us as we are in the middle of our January transfer window with Hertha Berlin. There's not much transfer action going on, I'm afraid, but we do have games for you. You've just missed our 1-1 draw at home to Bayern Munich, which I'm fairly happy with, and we are recovering after a pretty awful start to the season. It's our first season here in Germany. Prior to that, we were in Scotland with Rangers and Dundee United, and before that, we were in Sweden with Oysters IF and Angered BK. So we started unemployed and have moved our way up the leagues bit by bit. Jack Ladd, thank you very much for joining us. Hello, and McKins, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Minty, I am a Gillingham fan, not a fashionable club by any stretch. Thanks very much, mate. I hope you had a good stream, and yeah, I'll make sure to stop by and check you out as well. Really appreciate the raid. Thank you. So yeah, Gillingham fan for my sins. I've been a season ticket holder for the last couple of seasons, and through some form of magic or witchcraft, I've managed to get my entire family to join me in buying season tickets at the Priestfield next season. So we've gone from me and my eldest son to me, my wife, and all 3 of my children, and my brother as well, actually. Who do you support, Minty? Is it one of the fashionable clubs? Are you a lower league fan like me? I do find lower league fans tend to be a little bit more realistic about football a lot of the time. And they are desperate to try and get Kem Sinar off of us. They really, really are. I don't want to sell him. No, you're not going. You're staying with me. Are you a Celtic fan? You wouldn't have enjoyed the some of the previous streams then when we were at Rangers, and well, actually, you might have enjoyed my last stream as Rangers manager. We absolutely bottled the league, giving up. I think at one point it was a 5-point lead to Celtic. And they beat us in the cup final as well. I quickly ran away from Scotland with my tail between my legs and came to Germany instead after that. I used to be a season ticket holder. I mean, there's nothing like it, is there? How do you find living in London? I assume you've moved here for work, or have you come for family? I live in southeast London. I pretty much consider myself to be a Kent boy in reality, but it's a London borough, so technically I live in London, don't I? Don't think I can get away from that. Okay, up next we've got FC Köln. I think they did a number on us earlier in the season. So let me just type !save in the chat so you can all pick up on where we've been so far. Here for work. So presumably, as a season ticket holder, you lived in Glasgow before. I've only ever visited once, and that was to a shopping centre. When we were visiting friends in Kilmarnock, and we decided to do a little trip. Thank you for the follow, Minty. Really appreciate it. And if anyone else fancies hitting that follow button, you do feel free. I certainly won't stop you. So if you're in North London, you're in probably a more affluent part than I am, and I'm very much on the outskirts. I'm not much more than a stone's throw away from the M25, so very much Greater London. Was it during your student years that you got the love for living in a big city? I'm dangerously close to 40 now, so I think my city living days feel pretty much over. I'm not sure I've not got the energy for it anymore. Let's attend this recruitment day, deadline day recruitment meeting, but I don't think there's much I want to hear from them. We've not got a lot of money to spend. Anyone who is in our price range probably isn't good enough to play for us. Warney, you're old. That's your problem. Okay. Anyone else you've got recommended for me, guys? He's also old. Okay, why are you so cheap if you are a B? You've not got anywhere near the potential they think you have. Okay, well, doesn't look like we're going to be doing much business in this one. Ashwin, well, thank you very much for joining me. Yeah, go enjoy your sleep, mate, and I'm sure we'll talk tomorrow anyway. And oh, you've got a long weekend. Is that annual leave or is it a public holiday you've got going on over there? And for anyone who doesn't already follow PMD Adaptable, do go and check him out. Very much a variety streamer. Does a bit of FM, does a bit of League of Legends, and well, a bit of everything really. So do go and check him out. I just took some days off. Yeah, you need it sometimes, don't you? And you did Spurs. Good to see it. Yeah, I mean, see, I've never really lived in a small town myself. I've always been sort of roughly in this area. In fact, where I live now is probably not much more than a mile and a half away from my family home. So yeah, I can't really say I've expanded that far. And I suppose when you live this close to London, you don't always need to, do you? So is there any chance anyone who's joined us on the raid is also a Gillingham fan? Or am I alone in this? Anyone a League Two fan at all? Or a fan of a League Two club, I should say. I don't think anyone's a fan of League Two, but our clubs just might happen to be there. Right, we're going to put Akani on that right wing again. We'll go Cristiano and Chrysostomou. I think the squad is almost picking itself at this stage. Do you miss having Akani in that role? Well, to be honest, I more miss Bradley being in that role at right back. Might be some. I mean, I don't think I'm going to find anyone who can do that Segundo Volante role for what we've got left in the budget. We just don't have it. But if we do, we're buying someone. So I think that's somewhere we're just a little bit weak. I'm an Everton fan, soon will be in League Two. Oh. Well, I mean, yeah, it wasn't the best of seasons. It wasn't the best of seasons for you guys, was it? But I mean, at least you've managed to stay in the Premier League. It's more than Leeds and Leicester fans can say at the moment. And someone was telling me in a stream a little while ago that the Leeds owner has put the ground up for sale or put the ground up for rent or something, which I mean sounds incredibly frightening, especially if you're a Leeds fan. You've already seen your team go from what was it, was it Champions League semi-final Leeds were in once upon a time, and then before you knew it they were in League One. That must be a terrifying idea. But I do think actually, Whiskey, if Everton had gone down to the Championship, they wouldn't have stopped there, because Everton's a Premier League club, always has been. The amount of cost cutting you'd have to do just to keep afloat after that would be insane. And I can't imagine that comes with being able to pay for a decent playing squad as well. So yeah, thankfully for you guys, you've got next season to try and sort yourselves out. Talking of sorting ourselves out, let's see if we can go and do a number against Colne and keep moving back up the league. I think it absolutely would. There are a lot of clubs who, and Leicester does make me wonder how Leicester are going to cope. I hope their owner is prepared for what's to come. Whiskey, thank you very much for the follow, mate. It worries me just how much money is. I mean, in one sense, it makes the quality of football very good. It makes the quality of presentation of football very good. But at the same time, clubs get absolutely battered when they lose that money. They really do. And yeah, for me, that much money is ruining football. But we'll keep it on lighter topics here. We are only half an hour or so away from the end of the stream, so we'll try and keep the tone a little bit light. Those of you who are new to this, we've really struggled. New to this, I mean this stream. We really struggled at the start of this season. Our first 7 games, I think, saw us 15th, just above relegation, and the first 2 games of tonight's stream, we had the that lovely news item that says this might be your last match for the club if you don't win. So we've had to turn it around. We've had no choice. But the form of late has been fantastic. We are really starting to show ourselves as a potential Champions League squad. Now, we may have left our charge up the table a little bit too late, but we still have about half a season to go, so I don't think it's completely over yet. But we're not climbing quite as quickly as I might have liked. And it's things like wasteful shooting that have put us in the position we're in. We've massively underperformed against their XG. I think by about 12 goals, so I think that gives you some idea as to where we're failing. But we've definitely turned a corner. Carney now, and come on, that's got to be a goal, and it is. Diomande. I mean, his return to goal scoring form. He joined us from my old club Rangers, where he got well into double figures playing in central midfield. His return to goal scoring form for us here at Hertha has gone quite some way to propelling us up the table. And I've just noticed Adeyemi is injured, so we'll see out this highlight and then we will make a change there. And carry, yes, that's 2. Okay, changes need to be made. Adeyemi can come off for Paolo Locci, who is an 18-year-old striker who he's got some developing left to do, but he's 6'6", and that will get you into my first team squad. I like them big. And we'll just make that one change for now. Disappointingly, though, our 2 first choice strikers, Mohamed Ali Cho and Karim Adeyemi, are now injured. Let's hope one of them comes back soon. Because although Locci did actually manage to score in his first match for us, I don't see him as a long-term option. And that's flown over the bar. Lovely. So this is the first season I've played in Germany in quite a few Football Manager versions. I've noticed all of the teams like to play very narrow formations. Has anyone else played in Germany and seen that? Is that true to life, or is it just an FM thing? But everything seems incredibly narrow, and we've gone and conceded a goal. Let's not panic. We won't panic, but we will just freshen things up a little bit. And Keeley is looking tired again, so we'll do the Disasi Chrysostomou switch there. And Burkholt's not really having the best game, so we'll bring on Hildebrandt. In Germany, I've seen a lot of this 4-4-2 diamond, which was a formation I quite liked in FM22. I've seen an awful lot of it in Germany so far this season. Just about everyone seems to be playing that. Or that god-awful formation where they have 7 defenders and then either 1-2, so an attacking midfielder and 2 strikers, or a 2-1, where you have 2 attacking midfielders and a striker. Awful formation. And we've gone and thrown it away. Scholl scores, shocker, his first goal for the club. It's always against us. Right, let's change things up. Hardy's tired, so we'll bring on Dor, and have got anyone who can change the game. Let's bring on Vega for Diamande. He's good with set pieces and might just be able to do something for us. We're also going to go attacking. And we're going to demand more. It's a lovely ball through from Dor. Cristiano offside though. Six minutes of added on time. So I think we had... Let's get someone else up front with Lochi. Vega's injured as well. We're not doing well with injuries today, are we? Alright, we'll do that, and I mean that's about all we can do. We'll up the tempo, we'll get the ball forward a bit quicker. We'll press our proverbials off and we'll just get stuck in. Let's see if we can take advantage of this 6 minutes of injury time. Owen, thank you very much for the follow. Chief, how you doing, mate? Welcome back. Your raid emote got approved, so we'll have a chance to use that fairly shortly. How are you doing, mate? How's your week been so far? How was your weekend? I realised I didn't do a weekend stream this time around. Too much socialising. It's the thing of beauty. Okay, we have an injury time penalty. Hildebrandt steps up and... Oh, this is the man who wants to leave us because he wants to go to a bigger club, but I don't think he deserves it after that god-awful penalty. Can we take advantage of the corner? No. Oh, yeah, I just realised what I said there, Chief. I'm really sorry. That was... Yeah, honestly, I don't think it was bad as it could have been. After the first 15 seconds, oh, it looked like you were going to be in for a rough day. Right, we're going to get a bit pointy. Not happy with that at all. And it's another one where we've underperformed XG. Last few matches we've overperformed, and this time we've massively underperformed. Yeah, can't have been a lot of fun with in Manchester with that cup final result. Right, so I was at a barbecue for a friend's birthday, and we were watching the FA Cup on TV, and there was a shot of the crowd, and it was just an infinite row of bucket hats all the way up. Was that on your seat as you turned up, or did you all coordinate? Because honestly, we did wonder for a moment whether you'd really gone very organised and all brought in a bucket hat for the occasion. That's a nice touch. That is. It is a nice touch that they do that. Presumably, it's the club rather than the FA. Why they're desperate to talk to me about that guy's release clause expiring. It's not that exciting. So how's your night been, Chief? You've joined us quite late tonight. You're normally one of the early birds. Just a late one at work, was it? This is not what I wanted. Our game in hand becomes almost meaningless because now it's just trying to catch up. There's no opportunity to overtake anymore. Hey ho, that's what you get for throwing away a 2-goal lead. Well, let's see if we can get ourselves back on track against Frankfurt. No need to apologise, and it wasn't said in an accusatory way. Just checking in on you, making sure you're good. Oh, Wigan lost as well. Oh, I saw the Saints absolutely smashed Huddersfield the other night. I mean, what can you say? What a club. What a club. Who's Mayor? Could we lose him? Should we lose him? No, we're not going to lose him. We'll just trigger his extension. Lovely. That's that one solved. And another offer that we are going to say no to. Get an awful lot of offers for about £2.6 to £2.9 million for this kid, and no one's thought maybe we should try offering more. Not that I would sell him for more. Twitch need to make a shake head in disagreement emote, very specific. You're in a debate with Scousers or something. Well, you can animate them. I'm not sure whether you can. I suppose you can upload a GIF of some kind. So I think you could make one. Being the chief emote designer for the channel, you absolutely could. It would mean getting rid of the flashy croc, but I quite like a bit of a head shake. Oh no, this is an awful version of this song. We're moving on quickly. Oh, it's flu season apparently. Right. At least it's only Schaefer for now. And last season at Rangers, I think it was, we lost about 4 or 5 players. Even though we sent them all home, we lost them to colds and viruses and flus. Now it's on to come on into Milan. Well, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. It's yeah. And oh, it's 2 for flu. I mean, come on. We might have to start implementing masks at this club. My goodness. Stay away from each other when you're coughing and spluttering. It's not that hard. Yeah, it's not quite the same when it's not your club that's involved in it, and you just hoping or cheering on the downfall of another one. There's no satisfaction really. Well, the offers are starting to go up little bit by little bit. Yeah, is that 2 away, 1 away? Oh, well, 59. Where did that come from? Oh, guys, we're so close to 60. If you're not already a follower, go on, pop in. Click the button. Let us get to our goal, and we can move on to 70. That'd be great. Okay, Eintracht Frankfurt are up next, and hopefully we can get a win, stop this little run of draws that we seem to have started upon. And 2 draws at home as well. I mean, the first one against Bayern Munich, I accept. Quite happy with that. That's not a bad result at all. The second one against Köln, yeah, we should have won that. We were 2-0 up. We were the better side. Our XG was nearly 4, and we've only scored 2. Their XG was, what, 1? Less than 1? And they've scored 2 as well. Kind of embarrassed ourselves a little bit there. Notice Twitch has had an update. Now, I've seen, I mean, there's been an update to terms and conditions, like terms of service and whatnot. I know that much, but has there been an update in the UI? I mean, I've not seen. Let's have a look. I did briefly have Ashwin's stream up. I can't say I was paying that much attention. See the whole of the chat for the stream, bit of a random update. Oh, so you can look back and see everything. Oh, that is new. Alright, we will take part in deadline day. Not because we're expecting to do any business, but I'm definitely expecting some offers for some of my players. The Darkstar Gaming emotes are no more. I think the sub has run out. Oh no! Well, I mean, I think Darkstar Gaming have done their job. They've provided the inspiration that we desperately needed, that we sorely needed for our own. Well, I mean, they've inspired us in as much as we decided, as a result of their random emotes, that ours should be completely random as well, which I'm fully on board for. But maybe they've run their course. Absolutely, he did us a service, and for that, Darkstar Gaming, we thank you. Well, I do feel like now, if I went and actually watched the stream, I'd ruin things, because it's the mystery, I think, that lends the story the beauty that it has. No, Akeley's going nowhere, so we're just not gonna talk to the press. They annoy me. And more offers, even lower, coming in for Kem Sinar now. We will have, I suppose, let's have a quick look and see who is around in that DM role. They've got to be homegrown in Germany, because we don't have any more space in our Conference League squad. And they've also got to be, well, I mean, we're over budget for wages, so they've probably got to be about 6 million or less. Had you ever visited his stream? Maybe as part of a raid or something? Because interestingly, a number of the the gifted subs I got from PMD Adaptable went to just the latest people to follow. The last people to follow were the ones who got the subs. But I don't know if that's I don't know if that's just standard or, well, whether that's just how it happened to work out this one time. I mean, looking at what's in our price range, I mean, 2.5 stars. I've got better youngsters to come up. Well, it's got a lot of pace. Not necessarily the first attribute you think of for a defensive midfielder. Plenty of pace there. Decent Bundesliga. They're saying last resort. I should stop looking at this, shouldn't I? It's not going to happen. Serkan can, however, 16.5 million. Is that a release clause? No. So are you transfer listed? No. You have a set transfer value for a reason, though, don't you? Yeah. No, I think I agree with your story there, Chief. I do absolutely think someone just went, let's give this boy some emotes. He might like these. Mental's pretty good. Technically fairly good. Physically, however, and that natural fitness is the one that really worries me, because it means if he gets injured, he's dead forever. I don't know. He's not been amazing either. Is he really homegrown in Germany? Apparently so. I guess some fuzzy stuff went on simply because I didn't load the German leagues until later on in the save here. Oh yeah, the octopus is definitely new. Or squid is that? It says squid. Well, it's an important, much-needed update, obviously. Honestly, it's the first time I've been on Twitch since last Thursday. I've just had a busy weekend of it. All this socialising and seeing people. Lovely as it's been. I'm glad to be back here. And this week we are definitely doing a Thursday stream, and we are definitely doing a weekend stream. I've been 2 weekends without one, so we absolutely need to do one of our late night Saturday nights. Might even get the beers out. Or the wine, haven't decided. But we're definitely going to do one. They just want this squid emote. I mean, why not? I reckon the Twitch CEO is just... Yeah, I mean, I reckon he is just big... I think everyone's a big fan of emotes, aren't they? Used to be a time when I used to think they were childish. And then I grew up and realised childish is fun. I think you find a stage in your life, don't you, where, you know, you're in your 20s, this is below me. Too childish for me. And then I think you get to your 30s and you start to think, stuff it. I enjoy it. I'm doing it. It's a freeing time. The karaoke stream is happening soon, I reckon. Well, you say that. At some point I'd muted myself, I think because I was taking a drink, and didn't unmute myself and was singing along until Ashwin told me about it, at which point I immediately stopped singing. I became self-conscious about it. So who knows, a couple of glasses of wine or a couple of cans of beer, and there might be a chance of a bit of a karaoke. There's a guest star thing on Twitch at some point I want to try out, and I might have to just get someone on and we could do a little karaoke sesh. That could be quite fun. I've just rejected all these bids because I don't know why I've just rejected all those bids. He's some way off being a real backup, and he's never going to progress beyond being a backup. Probably should have looked to have taken one of those bids. Oops. It's like, just have a few cans of Stella, that's it, yeah. Kurt's going nowhere, but we're not going to tell you that. What songs do I reckon I'll be singing? Well, the difficulty is trying to find something in my vocal range. And my vocal range being pretty much nothing. Dark, welcome back. How are you doing? I'm very well. We are well one match away from finishing our stream. Actually, we're just trying to force our way through this transfer deadline day, and thankfully, it doesn't look like we're going to have to let go of any of our better players. But how are you doing? How's your 8-0-2 formation coming on? Opera. I mean, I don't know the words to any opera song, and a lot of them are in Italian, aren't they? So I'm not sure I've got it within me to learn a new language in time and remember it while drunk. But I mean, we'll give anything a go once, won't we? Right. Kemsiner is going nowhere. That's that one sorted. Let's have a look at these offers in a bit more detail, shall we? Guaranteed 2.5 million. That's not an awful offer. Oh, that's not an awful offer, is it? I think I'm going to accept that. And we're going to tell Augsburg that they need to come along and do the same. Berthold Bomb. Boom. The umlaut means it's O, doesn't it? Your Linfield save is in the bin. Oh no. AC/DC Chief is right in my wheelhouse. I haven't got the voice for it, but I'll enjoy it anyway. Yeah, go on, go and do some loan stuff over there. Why not? Ooh, yeah, losing 4 in a row is always going to get close to being sacked. And as Linfield, I assume you had quite high expectations from the board. No, we don't want to keep him for a season. Yeah, pleased to know, Duck, that well, while we were at the start of the season, or start of this stream, I should say, very close to being sacked, to the point where we were warned you've got one more game before we boot you out. We're almost liked by the board now. They've got us at a C+, and the supporters have us at a C. So, well, we're not hated, and that's always a nice feeling. Right. Boom can go and enjoy himself over there. This might be one I do on the karaoke, Chief. Popular. Your house was very small, with wood chip on the wall. When I came round to call, you didn't notice me at all. No, just no to them. Clear off. A bit similar to what is that? Morphin Time. Wow, it's Power Rangers. Incredible. We'll just have to use that as a substitute, Chief. Sneak peek, we'll call that. Okay, and Disasi is leaving us at the end of the season. Something of a shame because he's been decent for us, but I do think in the summer we should be looking to do a lot better than the likes of Disasi. Okay, let's go break this this run of draws we've had, and then we can call it a night. How far away is Bradley? He's still, a couple of weeks away. So we'll go with the Carney out there again. Cristiano and Chrysostomu in centre. Kohane out on the left. It's Karian and Keely because we don't have many other options. And Herrera is just getting worse and worse. He's now down to 2 stars. We're quite happy to see the back of him. And Cho is back and fit. Oh, we've missed him. Did you say I wanted a new emote for a new follower or something? Yes, I do. I do think a new follower or new sub emote would be great. Ideally, something that says welcome. I don't know. I'm going to leave this all in your hands. You're the creative genius behind all of this. I'm just the willing recipient. Gardio and Lochi. So let's go and win. Let's get 3 points. Let's please let's get 3 points. That's a 4-4-2 classic. A lot of these German teams do seem to be about 20 or 30 years behind in terms of formations. Amazing. Let's give them some encouragement because nothing has happened so far. Dolphin Man, what a find that was. What worries me though, Chief, is you're going to have to trawl through some pretty dark areas of the internet for inspiration that's quite as good as that. There are going to be things that you'll see that you're never going to unsee. And, okay, we're dealing with that quite well. Kari can't quite find the net. Oh, I say it's too late. I need to go to bed. I can't even think of words at the moment. And well, that's disappointing. We've been the better team, but we've really not produced anything. So we're going to tell them not good enough and hope they go out and sort themselves. Found a potential emote is Sloth from the Goonies. Okay, yeah, I'm on board. I think I've only got the one slot. There's one that I think Twitch gives you as a default, which is the GG star or whatever. So I think I can rotate one out, rotate one in for that one. But that's it. So we're going to need to get more subs, people. People are going to have to start coming subscribing just so Chief here can show off his artistic talent. And Diamande knew that was coming, didn't he? He flew from the edge of the box. He started running before I think the shot even came in. Wow. It's nice to see it when it works for me, that one. When Duranville did that for Bayern against us, it was very upsetting. Look at that turn of pace. I mean, yes. Yes. That's it. Hey, you guys. Yeah, that's it. It might be one you need to be of a certain age to to know about, but yes, just yes. Diamande just bossing the match there, and we've hit the bar. Now, I tend to find when you hit the woodwork, things start going against you. Let's hope that's not the case here. And Keeley through for Cho, and we're so glad to have that boy back. No, ref, that's a goal. Get your finger out of your ear. There we go. Lovely, lovely. Oh no, I would hope so as well, but don't know. I've had a sheltered life. There are things that people refer to that you're Danny G, for example. Danny G from Smethwick. Never heard of it until you showed me the light. So there are definitely going to be people out there who don't. And we just left a man completely unmarked there. Thankfully, they didn't take advantage of it, but that was concerning. And oh, now they've hit the bar. And it does worry me, the fact that we've thrown 2 leads away in the last 2 games. So I know I can't take it for granted that we're going to win this. But we will get Lugalio on for, I think, his first match for me this season. Oh, excuse me. And Diamande is exhausted, so we'll get Vagrom. There we go. And I hope everyone notices I'm remembering to pause. I've been editing my stream videos down to a short 20 or 30 minute highlight package for YouTube, and I've noticed over the I think streams between sort of 9 and 13, actually that might be maybe sort of 12 to 15, that sort of area. I see a lot of goals happening behind my tactics screen because I'm just not pausing. So yeah, that's made it very obvious for me that I need to start pausing when I'm making changes. And we've got a 3rd goal. Just seeing something that has Danny G as Pride of Birmingham. Smethwick proud boy. We shouldn't be conceding goals like that. That's pathetic. It's another one where we've done it ourselves. Cohane just doesn't get rid of the ball, doesn't close down quickly enough, and just he's all at sea there. Alright, we're gonna try and waste some time, and then we are going to make one last change. I think I've got 2 changes. Cohane can come off because he annoyed me with that, and we are also going to bring off Simon Hardy because he's been absolutely useless. Pride of Smethwick. You can just see that already on a St George's cross, can't you? On a flag somewhere. Danny G, Pride of Smethwick. And that is a return to winning ways. Lovely stuff. I think for future streams, going to have to turn down the processing speed even more. Still stuttering along a bit there, so we will change that for the next one. But let's round off the night. So we started in 9th, we've finished in 7th, although Leipzig do have a game in hand on us. But most importantly, we are closing in on those European places. We've got 16, no we've not, we've got 14 games left to force our way into those European places. I do suspect if we don't make it into Europe, we don't see another season with Hertha, so we need to keep picking up wins. We've had a decent stream. The Bayern Munich draw I would be delighted with in most circumstances, but we were leading and we probably could have done better to hold on to that. FC Köln, we absolutely should have won. We blew that. But otherwise, it's been lots of green all night. We started with Apollon, we finished with Frankfurt, and next time we are going Leipzig, Dortmund, Hoffenheim, Gladbach, all teams above us, well, close to us, so a big night coming up, and that'll be Thursday night stream. So if you're not already following, please do drop a follow and come back and join us on Thursday night when we'll see just what Hertha are made of, what this squad are made of, and hopefully we'll find they're made of very tough stuff indeed. We'll also have a cup quarter final and we'll be edging in to the European knockouts as well. Right, we're going to find someone to raid before I say my goodbyes, so let's see who's around, shall we? Let's see who's playing a bit of Football Manager. Let's go over to Scoops. Well, if this is your first time, thank you very much for joining me. If you're not following, do get in there quick before we disappear. It's been a pleasure to have you all here with me tonight, and I hope to see you again in the next stream. Take care and good night.